Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. Hi, friends. Today we're going to talk about client results. I'm going to break down the lazy luxury lifestyle business model. And one of those pieces, one of those frameworks is all about client results. And the reason being is because up until I would say most recently, I had always been taught and had the belief that you needed to be with your clients all the time. And the more you could give them, the more results that they would get. And that's just number one, it's simply not true. But also, it doesn't allow you the time and the space to be in your business the way that you want to be. And we're going to break all of this down today. And I think it's going to change a lot for you. It's going to change the way that you see your business. It's going to change the way that you see your offers. And it's also probably going to change the way that you were maybe taught or thought. And I will say that I still cannot believe that I taught this method so long ago. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, but at the same time, I wish that I did not teach it in this way and I taught it in a different way. And I think that I kind of taught it like in an in-between version, right? Of like around your schedule, but then also for the clients. And I'm just going to go a little bit deeper today into client delivery while you're not around, because that is probably the number one reason that coaches, consultants, service providers have a business model that doesn't allow them the time, the space, and the freedom is because of wanting to make sure our clients get results, which is amazing, right? Because that means you care. You care about your students, you care about your clients, you want the best for them. And that is what we're going to talk about today is how we make the best, right? How we do the best for them, how we get the best results for them through this model. If you have not yet, make sure that you are signed up for my live masterclass coming up on May 15th. It is going to be where I teach you the lazy luxury business model and ecosystem that you can plug into your business so that you can get more calendar space, more cash while your clients are getting results. In this masterclass, I'm going to tell you how you can get out of hustle mode and teach your nervous system that it is okay to rest. This is literally the business model that has allowed me the time, the space, and the income to be able to repair my trauma, my nervous system, to get out of survival mode. Because the truth is, you can't actually be in service to clients when you're in survival mode all the time, right? Because whenever you're showing up for clients, you're showing up from an unhealed place. You're showing up from being anxious or overgiving or a perfectionist. You're showing up again with that unhealed nervous system. So then you're projecting onto your clients. And for you, it's like, oh, well, I'm being in service. I'm giving them everything. When in reality, what you're doing is calling in people who are not able to be self-led. You're calling in people who don't have time and don't have money, and they're also the victims to their life. And then you guys are codependent on one another, and then they don't get results, right? So we have to make sure that your nervous system is actually wired to be the CEO of your business, to be the creator, to be the person who leads a group to get results. And you also need to be able to have a clear head on and your nervous system to be able to number one is relax, right? Like you have to be able to teach your body that it is okay to relax. It is okay to slow down. It's okay to make decisions that are best for you. And the number one thing that I see, and this was me too, to know that your nervous system is, this is like a definite nervous system situation is when you're always chasing the next thing and there's always more to do and there's always the next goal and there's always like the next thing, you're always living in chaos. Your entire business is chaos and nothing is ever feels good enough because your nervous system is perceiving this as a threat because it's wired, right? For perfection, for people pleasing, for dopamine hits. And so you're going to be attracting clients who always need you. And then you, on the other end of that, are burnt out, right? You're not able to get your clients results, you're feeling defeated, your business feels like it's running you, and your clients aren't actually empowered because you've created an entire business structure from anxiety, not from vision, not from creation. And again, this was me. And so this is why I totally understand this, but this is one of the biggest pieces in our framework. I'm also going to teach you how to transition into the lazy luxury model so that you're not overgiving and handholding clients where you don't need to be. You're helping clients get in and get results. We're also going to help create offers that don't require a lot of one-to-one or done for you, and how you're going to stop live launching all the time or every other month and actually move into an evergreen model. We do teach you how to live launch, but then we teach you how to rinse and repeat this as well as moving it into an evergreen model so you're not constantly live launching. Help you automate and simplify your sales system, your content system, and your business model. We help you simplify. So many of you have way, way, way too many offers, too many options, and you're not talking to a luxury client, right? Again, you're talking to the unhealed client because of you're in your unhealed era, and you guys are both codependent on one another. Then you have a bunch of offers to give them at a bunch of different price points. There's no one clear path. And so in this class, I'm going to teach you how to break down that one clear path. And then we're going to talk about structuring your entire year ahead of time, right? I obviously know we're getting close to mid-year, but this is going to be what you can literally do right now for the rest of the year, but then also this is what you will be able to rinse and repeat every single year. So you know how to show up in your business because you know what season you're in, right? You cannot grow a rich, rested, luxury lifestyle business if you don't even know what season you're in. So you're constantly chasing like, oh, we're live launching and then we're doing this and then we're doing this. You don't know when your rest seasons are. You're just winging content, you're winging launches, you're winging sales. There's no consistency, right? There's no ebb and flow. So we're going to build out your building phases, which is what you'll do in Academy if you join, versus your maintenance seasons, your launch seasons versus your evergreen seasons, and creating an energy-based calendar. If you're always stuck in building mode and always launching and always tweaking and always adding more and the next offer and the next offer and the next thing and the next thing and the next launch, you need to take this masterclass because this is going to, again, it's going to change your whole life, right? So then you'll stop live launching reactively. You will know exactly what to do in your business each day, each week, each month, each quarter, all year long. You know exactly when you have time off. You know when you need to prep for a launch, you need to do a live launch, or when you just need to do your daily revenue checklist to bring in leads and sales. So if you're the type of person that gets all excited in Q1, and then by end of Q2, you're like, okay, I'm starting to get exhausted and like kind of resent my business. Then in Q3, you're like, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. It's summer, nobody's online. And then Q3, end of Q3 comes and you're like picking it up a little bit. And then Q4 comes and it's like, oh, it's the holidays. And then you're like, okay, well, next year. And then next year you do the same shit. This is a huge sign that you need to be inside this masterclass. We're going to teach also the method of selling one signature mid-ticket offer, so course or program. And then we're going to talk today in this episode about how to deliver client results without always being on. I was taught early on in my business that client results are dependent on you. As the coach, it is your job to get client results. And while that is 100% true, the what I was taught too was the service, the level of giving, the level of what you're exchanging in order for your clients to get results, right? And so for a lot of us, we're like, okay, more calls, right? More of us, more handholding, more support, always being in their pocket, always being online and available for your clients. And I will tell you right now that getting client results is non-negotiable in our business model. That is our number one goal, is getting our clients results. That's literally what coaching is made for. But how do we do that without it requiring us to handhold our clients, right? Because if you're building a business that requires all of you all the time, number one, you're going to be burnt out and you're going to be exhausted. And also, too, if you're building a business that requires all of your time to clients, then that means most of the time your business is not getting the attention and the time that it needs, and something's falling through the cracks because all of your time is spent with clients. So while client delivery is extremely important, it also cannot be that it takes you completely away from your business, right? And I will say that since restructuring and continuing to restructure the way that I deliver to clients, I have had so much more time and energy for creation, right? Then content becomes easier, showing up becomes easier, marketing becomes easier, sales become easier because I actually have the time and the space. I'm healed, right? My nervous system is healed. My business model is simple. I always know what we're talking about. I always know who I'm talking about, my luxury client. I know what I'm delivering, and I have the time and space. So it makes the rest of my business easier because of it, right? But if they're always dependent on you and your clients have to wait for you to get results, number one, you're not teaching them to be self-led, right? And the goal of coaching is not to depend on a coach forever. It's to get results and to be able to coach yourself and to walk yourself through problem and solution. But if they have to wait on you, let's say that they're waiting a whole other week on you to show up for a call, right? That puts a huge time block between the next time that they can do the thing they need to do to get results. Because number one, they're dependent on you, they're not self-led, and your business model is set up to wait on you to get results, right? So then it's this back and forth exchange. What happens if you get sick? What happens if your kids get sick? God forbid, what happens if you couldn't be the delivery person in your business for a week, for a month, right? What would happen to your business? What would happen to your clients? It's not sustainable. But so many of people and my clients think that high touch equals high value, or you assume more calls or more Voxer access equals better results. So you think that you don't need to always be available for your clients to succeed, and then you design your entire offers around what you think people expect of you versus what's actually effective. What then happens is you start talking to the victims in your audience and you're attracting people who always need accountability. They need your whole soul for accountability. Those are the same people that don't have time and they don't have money because, again, they're not self-led, right? You create those codependent relationships. You attract clients that don't take responsibility. You can't take time off. And if you do, you feel guilty. You end up presenting your offers and your clients. You never feel like your work is done. And then the result is that your clients don't actually get results. So inside this masterclass, this free masterclass, and then inside my program, Breadwinner Energy Academy, we're teaching you how to structure your business model to get your clients results even when you're gone, even when you're away, in between calls. Some people who come through this program will have zero calls on their calendar. Their program, their course, whatever they call it, will include zero calls. For some of them, that will look like a podcast Q&A, and people will submit in questions. You will record a podcast and answer their questions. They will listen to it whenever they have time, right? Or a Loom video, or it will be like Slack and Voxer only. I know that specifically my coach makes multi-million dollars a year. She has zero calls on her calendar. And I did not hire her to be in her pocket. I hired her to get results. And I work really, really fast. Whenever I work with a coach, I need to know that number one, whatever I'm buying is driven for the results that I want. It's also going to solve the problem that I have, right? So if I'm like, okay, a coach is telling me, I'm going to help you solve this problem. I'm going to help you get this result. And the problem that I have and the result that I want matches, I'm probably in. The third thing I'm going to look at is how do I get said results, right? Because if it's like, let's say this was a 12-month program that I'm in, but let's say you're selling me on a 12-month program and you're like, we have 3 calls a week. First of all, I don't have time for that. And second of all, I don't want to do that. Okay, let's say it's like 1 call a week. I'm probably not going to come to every call every week because I value having weeks in my calendar that have zero calls. I get to be in my pajamas. I get to be with my kids. I don't have to be on. I get to just like not do hair, not do makeup. Like I don't want to be on a call, right? So I'm probably not going to show up to every single call. But if my results are dependent on waiting on a coach or being on a call with a bunch of other people, that's not a good use of my time and energy, right? So if I'm a fast mover, I need to know that I can come in, I can do the work because I am self-led. I don't need someone to hold my hand through the work. And I can go out and get this result. I can put this into my business. I can learn it. I can master it. I can implement it and put it into my business and get a result. And if the offer doesn't have that, it's probably not a good fit for my lifestyle, right? So I want you to audit the way that you're delivering to clients. Are you doing it because that's what you think you have to do? That's what you were told you had to do? Or you still believe that your clients need to live inside of your pocket in order to get a result? If so, there's rewiring that has to happen here. Number one, you need to rewire this just for your own self, right? Your own mental health, your own business sustainability. But number two is you have to rewire this for clients because it's not being in service to your clients, again, if they're dependent on you showing up. So if you have not yet, make sure that you are signed up for the May 15th masterclass. I am going to teach you my 5-step method to a lazy luxury lifestyle business model. It is built for sustainability, calendar space, more cash, and client results. It is the easiest, most simple way to plug this into your business so that you get more space in your calendar. You can take weeks off every single month. You can take a full week off. You can have less client calls. You can have less stuff to do on your calendar while making more money while your clients are still getting results. And I'm going to break down exactly how to do this, how to plan your entire year ahead of time, how to structure your business model, the offers, the delivery, and how to rewire your nervous system so that you can finally have a business that you love, that you enjoy, that gives you the time and the space for healing, for rest, the things that we all came here to do, which was have freedom, right? And you can't have freedom if you've built yourself back into a job. So sign up for the masterclass May 15th. There will be a replay. And as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in.